Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. 231 million XRP industry representatives. We got them for you. SEC lawsuit ripping apart the SEC. I believe we got evidence of it. There's lots of moving parts, and they're all connected back to Ripple. And how about it all leading to $100 plus XRP? There's one chart that says so. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Dig Perspectives, new handle on Twitter at Dig Perspectives, and on Facebook at Digital Perspectives News. We do exclusive Sunday morning lives there. Don't miss them. Make sure you catch them. They've been really great. $1.789 trillion market cap, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of money missing, but we're up 4% plus. Bitcoin now back over 40,500, in fact. It says here Ethereum $2,600 and XRP at the number 6 spot, 77 cents. Let's take a look at the price range very quickly here. 76 cents on the bottom, 79 cents on the top. We'll keep an eye on it. We got a chart for you before we get out of here today. 231 million XRP wired by FTX, Binance, KuCoin as XRP is trending. What does it all mean? We don't know. We really don't know. I mean, you have to wonder where all of this is going. I mean, pretty crazy. This is Jake Dravinsky, XRP.life, really, here, says he despises Ripple, XRP, and the XRP community. He also pretends to be an industry representative. In reality, he only represents Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is what we've been hammering home here on the channel. Perry Boring in the Digital Chamber of Commerce, as well as Jake Travinsky and the Blockchain Association, claim to be industry representatives. But in fact, it appears that their silence and absence on the SEC versus Ripple case, which is really, the case broadly pointing to making the majority of crypto assets, digital asset securities, you hear nothing from either one of them. It is quite questionable, their silence. But here is some tweets that have been pulled over time. I'm going to show you just one here. And he says, I haven't said anything about XRP in weeks or months. It's absolutely glorious, which is obviously sarcasm here, right? But there is the one I wanted to get to right here it's this one right here. I believe it is. No, that's not it. It's right here. I definitely don't care about XRP. I'm indifferent towards Ripple. That's nice. That's the language and verbiage you want to hear from an industry representative, and that Ripple and XRP are being sued, and the implications of an outcome of that case could make the majority of the market of crypto and digital asset securities. He doesn't care. He's indifferent, right? I just wish their defense strategy was focused on substantive securities laws analysis rather than distractions, he says. Wow, now he's a critic. He's a critic. He's such a good lawyer. He's criticizing the legal team from Ripple about the job they're doing. Oh, and then he goes on to condescend to the people in the thread. I tell you, these industry representatives, I have been calling for it. I'm going to call again. And I really call for a public audit of the Blockchain Association. I am asking Jake Travinsky to call for one as well to show transparency, as well as Perry Boring from Digital Chamber of Commerce, because I don't believe they represent the whole industry. I believe they represent special interests related to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the transparency would be very nice to clear all of that up. And I'll make the video if I'm wrong. Right here, Jeff shares this. We see an unraveling. I see the SEC getting ripped apart here. We've seen many people leave the SEC upon dropping the lawsuit, which was really bad optics right there. We know that Jay Clayton and William Hinman have personally benefited in the private world from that decision. No question. That is not up for dispute. Here it sounds like the lawsuit against Ripple is ripping the SEC apart. You're absolutely right, Jeff. For this to be happening only means one thing to me: corruption. Expose the rats. I just hope all involved will be held accountable. You're going to hear this and more evidence after this is over, by the way. Check this out.
Back to the SEC's regulation of digital assets, I want to urge the SEC to consider the proposal I offered by way of a public rulemaking proposal for the SEC to open public comment with respect to digital asset regulation. Doesn't commit the SEC to doing anything, but my digital asset regulation Genesis block proposal would offer the commission the collective wisdom of crypto lawyers, digital asset lawyers who've been working diligently on these issues. We encountered that nuance in our IAC hearing on this. I encounter it in my securities law regulation course. Look, on the one hand, it's ridiculous for the 33 Act to treat miners and node operators as underwriters, or to apply cookie-cutter proxy rules to the voting of governance tokens in a DeFi protocol. On the other hand, I think a lot of people in the digital asset and crypto communities would love to see standardized disclosure about tokenomics and about auditing of smart contracts in a particular project. I think the digital asset regulation Genesis block proposal can help the SEC to achieve that and ultimately help digital asset owners like me, rather than threaten the value of their interests with over application of the Howey test. And so I hope that my proposal would get sincere consideration. Thank you again. I will miss all of you. I will still heckle the IEC from the sidelines. Just kidding. But I will be here. I will be writing in some comment letters, and I won't be far. So I hope you will all stay close and stay in touch.
Can I just,
Please.
Chris, I mean, Paul and JW, I hope that you're not going to go that far away, and we can only help you a long and healthy life, JW, because your input, even if sometimes we disagree, I've found your input, and I look forward to hearing more, is always informs the debate and is it's thoughtful, and so keep coming to us with the issues. On competition, by the way.
You know, when I see this, you know, I can't help. I mean, think about the comment that goes along with this video from JW Verrett here, or Verrett. Upon my term ending on the SEC's advisory committee last week, I took the chance to give Gary Gensler, Chair Gensler, some strong words about his abuse of digital assets. And you hear his response. You know, Gary Gensler is smiling and smirking as if he doesn't understand what's been said to him, trying to ignore the reality of the strength of the words that JW has just shared to him. I'm almost convinced at this point that Gary Gensler is the kid in the neighborhood that no one liked because of his actions. And they used to all tell him we're going to Johnson's Pond, and then no one would show up but him. How about this for irony? Here's another one that's at Johnson's Pond by himself. It's Robert Jackson. Shout out to Nerd Nation Young Box for this one. This is coming from What's Wrong with Jon Stewart's podcast or show here. And he's looking at what's going on with corporate America and the SEC. And he's almost there, John. You're almost there. But listen to what we're hearing from Robert Jackson now. This is amazing.
Pounds into the one sheriff, but the sheriff changes every day because, like, they keep chasing out the old sheriff, and then there's a new guy in there.
But they didn't chase out the old sheriff, Jon Stewart. Jay Clayton dropped a lawsuit on Ripple and left like a coward so he could gain in the private sector from the decision he made to drop the lawsuit.
Revolving door between corporate America and the SEC. It's self-regulating in a large extent, but they don't have any incentive to control, especially not even the front room casino of the stock exchange, which is the most transparent part of it. It's the part that we see, the part that the stock ticker on is the most transparent part of the stock market. And that functions with, as Citadel themselves wrote in a memo, payment for order flow is rife with conflict of interest. It is not an effective way. There's all kinds of non-transparent fund transfers.
Dark pools.
That don't go on. The retail investor has difficulty seeing how much of the market is shorted. With GameStop, they were holding, I think, a short position of 140% of the entirety of the company. So within all those parameters, The sheriff in that town has to come up with another way of approaching things, because it's very clear what they have decided is we're going to neuter the SEC to the point where we're comfortable paying whatever tariff they impose on us to give us the patina of a well-regulated industry. It is not well-regulated.
Absolutely. And now we're not done. So listen to this, because this is where Robert Jackson chimes in. You're not going to believe what he says.
It is not well-regulated.
Absolutely. It is not well-regulated. And you're absolutely right that the fines that these companies pay, just the cost of doing business for them. Right. That's absolutely right. And what I would say, John,
just the cost of doing business for them. Remember that.
Is if we want to have a conversation about how to fix that problem, that conversation's got to include doing something about the amount of money the finance industry gives to Congress. The amount of money that's spent by these sort of the Chamber of Commerce and the Business Roundtable on these congressional races is so astonishing and completely non-transparent that what we end up with is a system where members of Congress don't want to fund the SEC to do its job.
It's a capture. They've been
regulatory capture, like we've talked about for months.
Capture.
It's worse. Listen, John, when I was at the SEC, every day I have like a calendar that tells me what I'm doing that day. Half my calendar is meetings with industry, their lawyers, or their lobbyists. And by the way, I was a guy who spent more time than most actually meeting with investors rather than the industry or the lobbyists.
So that was interesting. So Gensler brought up, you've got these two polarities. One is capital formation, where you're trying to create a system where there's enough trust in it that people will.
You want to hear about trust, Jon Stewart? Jon Stewart's almost there. You just need to get a shovel with a point on it. Take a listen to this right here.
Oh, shit. How much time you got? Yeah. So, there are a number of there's a lot of background on this. I personally, to me, we just put out some guidance on this a week or two ago. The most helpful thing, I think, our director of corporation finance, Bill Hinman, gave a speech about a year and a half ago that describes this. You might know the speech I have in mind. Let me just quickly summarize the intellectual problem and tell me if you disagree. The intellectual problem is,
and he goes on, but you get it. We at the SEC, the Hinman speech, all of a sudden now that he's not at the SEC anymore, he sees exactly what's wrong. Here's another thing that's wrong. Remember that cost? The cost? Listen to this about the cost in the system to build
they were
trust.
doing the right thing.
Can we get to a clear framework so that people can do this
yes.
in a cost-effective manner without having to hire a fleet of lawyers to try and figure it out?
I think that you're correct that there is a cost to build trust in the system.
It's pay to play. How do you interpret that to mean anything other than pay to play? And this is an intellectual conversation. But they can overlook this. Take a look at this. Somehow they could miss this at the SEC. Take a look at this. A public audit. Why hasn't there been a public audit of Ethereum Foundation?
A public audit of the Ethereum Foundation. I'm not sure it's required.
You're not sure. You're not sure if that's required in public disclosures. Maybe William Hinman's not sure of it either. How did he come out and say that it's not a security, and they didn't even do the due diligence of a public audit of the very thing that he gave a free pass to? This is disgusting. We should all be incensed by this. It's ridiculous. And then there's even more bailing out. I tell you, when you go to the SEC to work, I wonder if they give you a parachute. So when you're ready to get the hell out of here, you just jump. Allison Lee is the latest commissioner to announce her departure. You have to wonder, like Michelle Corver from FinCEN, if she'll end up at A16Z as well, or some other blockchain firm, and cash in on the legal compliance side of the table. But while all of that's going on, we got to keep our eye on the ball here. Ripple's got a lot of things in motion, and it's all coming back home to them. It really is. Wrath of Common says, for what it's worth, lots of movement lately here, talking about this. This is Bcash and mobile money connect through RippleNet to power wallet to wallet. Goes on to say, does it use Ripple? I don't know, but Bcash clearly does, and they are a remittance partner with MTB. So yes, but unknown in this product. Will Ripple play a further role for Bcash in managing liquidity? It's something Ripple has mentioned in the past, but not in the context of Bcash. So there's a lot of moving parts to all of this. MTB teams up with Bcash, so it looks like someone's connecting to a Ripple partner, basically, right? We'll keep an eye on that for more, but look at this. This is from yesterday. Ripple partner and Wells Fargo collaborating on Swift replacement. This is what we talked about yesterday very quickly here. The clearinghouse, FIS, is a Ripple partner, and we know that there is a massive connection there. And this is all about real-time payment service and settling clear with the clearinghouse. So we're getting closer. And then there was Valente, which is a Ripple partner. Today, they announced the launch of your ISO 20022 service. This value-added service simplifies the complexity of ISO 20022 modernization for any organization involved in the processing of payments messages. By the way, a little reminder, Ripple and Stellar are the only two blockchain firms that are a part of the standards body committee for ISO 20022. What does it all lead to? Where does this go? I don't know when, but I believe at some point it goes to a place that looks a lot like this chart. Dark Defender says the whole XRP chart in a nutshell, with the Fibonacci spiral resistances and supports are getting narrower day by day. Watching closely are targets and supports. XRP, the world reserve currency, enjoy. And this is certainly not financial advice from him or me, but it is looking like I like to see here. And you can see the support lines here, and obviously you have a trend when you got 3 touches. I know that much. And when you see here what's going on in this Fibonacci, what a great little chart. Very simple, but easy to see the reversals on multi-year support here. Looks very, very strong with the 3 touches there. And I'm not saying that it's going to be guaranteed. I'm just saying that I'm here for that. And I'm not leaving until we get it. Not financial advice. That's where we're going to be. That's up over $100 somewhere. That's screaming into the future. Hey, and is it 26 when it happens? I don't know. I'm not leaving till it gets here. I dare not try to say what day it happens on. I just know I believe it will. That's my digital perspectives, not financial advice. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. Let's get a call to action. Where's the public audit for Ethereum? Gary Gensler. Where's the public audit and transparency from the Blockchain Association and the Digital Chamber of Commerce? Let's find out if they're special interest groups or truly industry representatives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.